There's as many refugees as there are refugee experiences.
جيت لهون، رحت قبلي على مصر، عشت 2 بمصر بسبب الحرب يلي صارت في سوريا، وإلا ما كنت أنا بفكر إنه أطلع من سوريا، وإجيت لهون.
They might share similar stories in a lot of respects. There are also things that are specific to their personal situations.
We have families who've been here for only a year or 2, but we also worked with families who have been in the United States for more than 12 years. They face the same challenges. How do I get my kids to school? How can I help them through homework where I don't know the language? A lot of the moms are not able to drive.
They'd all timed out of refugee resettlement support, but they were having a lot of difficulty with other types of things. The common thread was that people just didn't know who to ask.
Quickly, we are a program that is part of Middlebury College, and we're a language program, but we're also a program about forced migration and migration.
Jiran has 3 main components. The first is experiential learning. And the experiential learning piece comes from when we bring university students to New Britain to partner with families and with the community for a summer.
Jiran is really unique in terms of intensive language programs. First of all, it's sited in the United States, and I was really taken by the model because I understood how special it is to be having students working, on learning language, but then also coming to better understand their own communities.
And then we partner the family with a student who would work to accelerate this acculturation and make them feel that they are part of the community.
And then they build something called a family action plan together for the summer. And we encourage them to be very, very specific and very achievable plans.
My experience with Jiran was very interesting, and I loved it very much because I got to meet people that were really interested in the Arabic culture, and it just made me feel really welcomed.
I felt like in some ways it was a curated experience, but it also, even with that, it afforded us to take it in different directions. I had initiated a women's fitness classes that summer, which was much better than I had expected it would be.
I started off first by coming with Meha, joining one of the fitness classes, and from there I really loved the program. And the next year I came back as an intern, and I've been interning ever since. I felt like I was doing something really beneficial, and in front of my eyes I could see people going from our classes one day to getting their citizenship like the next week, and it was awesome to see how me using my mother tongue that I've had my whole life was able to get someone their citizenship or teach someone how to buy apples at a grocery store.
I'm always super excited when I have families passing, whether driving exams or even citizenships. These are things that will stick with them throughout their life. It will have a long-term impact on them in their status in this country.
برنامج جيران كان له خطوة إيجابية كتير بحياتي، يعني كأنه عائلة تعرفت عليها أو عائلتي صارت. يعني كانوا الشباب المشتركين والبنات وحتى العائلات يلي اشتركوا هن معهم والبنات يلي كانوا يجوا لعندي كنت حسهم كلهم أولادي كلهم. صار برنامج جيران وانعرضت علينا الفكرة تبعه، يعني فوراً أنا بتذكر إنه أنا رفعت إيدي أول وحدة. أنا أول مين يعني قلت أنا كنت خايفة ما تجي القرعة علي لأنه أنا ما عندي عائلة، هن بدهم عائلات، فأنا إنه بس وابني رجال ورجاله كبير يعني. بس الحمد لله إنه تمت يعني إنه وأنا كان يجوا لعندي بنتين.
And then the second component is language learning, both for families and for participating students. We host Arabic classes every day. Maha teaches them, and they're a little bit unique in the world of Arabic learning in particular because they're colloquial Arabic classes and they're focused on migration.
In Jiran, I have been providing instructions where not only I teach them the colloquial Arabic, but also the cultural backgrounds and connecting them with many dialects. We have been lucky because we have mostly all of the Arabic dialects in New Britain.
The value for students is having an opportunity to be embedded in perhaps a very unfamiliar place, even within their own society. So they're learning language in context that has a lot of practical application. And then they're also, I think, more deeply committed to learning and speaking because they're engaging directly a family that's working with them for the summer. So that's extraordinary.
And then the third component is community education, and this is something that we've put a lot of energy into, particularly thinking about how Jiran could be a sustainable model, not just in the New Britain community, but further afield.
So I think that the model for Jiran probably works extremely well in towns or in neighborhoods of larger cities where you have a coalescence of newcomers who are Arabic speaking. I think this model is transportable.
We work predominantly through one of the local masjids where a lot of these families would congregate, and this was really a social space that allowed for, the lectures to take place, the Arabic classes to take place, community service events to take place.
They had the trust to share and be open about their culture. They were able, with their experience in Jiran, to really talk about where they're coming from, feel comfortable that I also can offer my cultural background. I can also talk about where I came from instead of being enclosed and just isolated.
That's only creating more ties between the newcomers and those who have maybe historically lived in New Britain, and it transforms then the fabric of New Britain life.
Jiran is an Arabic word for neighbors. The students become like neighbors because they visit these families every day. But at the same time, many of the goals of these families were to connect with their neighbors.
استمرت علاقتي فيهم الحمد لله. عائلات يمنية، في عائلات سورية، وفي مغربية كمان. علاقة كتير حلوة. يعني أنا ما كنت بتوقع إنه رح يجي يوم وقابل هالكم من العائلات هون. أنا كنت مفكرة إنه بس هون أنا واللي أنا بعرفهم يعني.
Everything we do is focused on having a spirit of reciprocity, because when you're always the acceptor of help, it's a bit disempowering in a way, because it's not really recognizing that you also have something to give to the community or to these relationships. So we're all learning from each other and we're all helping each other to grow.
أنا قبل جيران كنت عندي عزلة، والعزلة سببها الغربة، مو يعني عزلة من تفكيري أنا، لا، من الغربة يعني. تجربة جيدة جدا، كنت حسها يعني ممتعة، ما كنت أتضايق. كنت عايشة برنامج جيران ببلدي.
We've realized through discussing with people across the country that this could work in a lot of places, and so that's our next goal.
What we do in Jiran is we do a very good job in building relationships and trust. It's kind of like an activator of like, now I can be an active member. I have the courage to talk to people outside or even travel outside of New Britain. And I feel confident that people will welcome me.
Jiran helped my family feel more comfortable. It allowed them to see a different perspective of people. It just allowed us to be more connected to the outside world.
بتمنى إنه يستمر هالبرنامج، مو بس إلي، للعائلات التانية. أنا بتمنى إنه الصغار يعني يشاركوا فيه، خليهم يحسوا إنه في شيء حلو بحياتنا، إذا بحثنا عنه منلاقيه.